This is ChestertonRadio.com.
The Amazing Adventures of Flash Gordon. Grove's Emulsified Nose Drops bring to your radios the further interplanetary adventures of Flash Gordon. It is the same daring and resourceful Flash Gordon whose exploits have held you spellbound in the newspapers. Now through your loudspeaker every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at this same time, travel with Flash Gordon, Dale Arden, and Dr. Zarkov to the lost continent of Atlantis on the ocean's floor. Failing in an attempt to escape from the land of Titans, when it is invaded by King Torok of the Iron Kingdom, Flash Gordon and Grego are sentenced to death in a pit of molten iron. The Empress Luana of the Titans so far has escaped capture, but Flash and Grego are led to the pit of molten iron, forced to mount a scaffold, and placed in chains preparatory to being executed. What will be their fate? What possible escape is open now to Flash Gordon, Emperor of Atlantis, and his loyal friend, Commander Grego? In a moment, we will have the answers to these questions. Boys and girls, Flash Gordon wishes to acknowledge the hundreds of letters he's been receiving from his boy and girl friends. He's always pleased to get these letters and will answer them all. He is particularly pleased with the great number of children who have induced their mothers to let them try Grove's Emulsified Nose Drops. Many mothers have written to him, too, to tell him how much more satisfactory they've found Grove's Emulsified Nose Drops for grown-ups' use as well as children's. If perchance you have not yet called these nose drops to the attention of your mother, you will do Flash Gordon a great favor if you do so at once. You can be sure you'll like Grove's Emulsified Nose Drops. You can be sure, too, that Mother will appreciate their superiority. Suppose you speak of them to Mother tonight. Now back to Flash Gordon. Savagely lashing them with a barbed whip, a captain of King Torok's soldiers forces Flash and Grego onto the scaffold above the pit of molten iron.
Onto the scaffold, dogs of Atlantis! Onto the scaffold, I say!
If I could get my hands free for 1 second, I'd toss you bodily down into that molten iron.
Oh, you would? Well,
it's no use, Flash. We've got to die. There's no possible escape now.
Oh, soldiers! The chains! Quickly! Chain their legs, their arms! Come on, look alive.
Get on with it, will you? Let's get it over with. The armies of Atlantis will revenge us for this. I promise you.
Silence there! I'll raise them into the air with a bullet. Swing them out over the bed of molten iron.
Grego! Grego, what was that? I don't know, Flash. There it is again. Another explosion, Grego. Flash! I see them now. I see them coming. Look up there, the rocket ships of Atlantis. They're swooping down upon the city, bombing King Torok's armies with destructive grenades. Good for them. Thank heaven they arrived in time. Here they come. Here they come. Look at that. King Torok's armies are in panic. They're in disorderly retreat. They can't stand before those destructive grenades. No, thank Poseidon. Flash, we're saved. We're saved. Some of the rocket planes have landed now. Here come the soldiers of Atlantis to save us. And there's Dr. Zarkov. He's in command of the soldiers. Good old doctor. Dr. Zarkov! Dr. Zarkov! Up here on the scaffold!
We see you, Flash. Keep your chin up.
These chains are biting into my flesh, Grego. Can't stand it much longer. You'll be free in another moment. Here's Dr. Zarkov.
Flash, are you all right? Are you safe?
Safe enough. These chains are painful. They're grinding into my arms and legs.
We'll soon fix that. I've a dissolvo here. I'll cut them loose.
There. That feels better. Now the ones for my legs.
Right.
Thanks, Doctor. Now for Grego.
By all means. Grego, old fellow.
Yes.
Now the ones on your legs.
By Poseidon, that feels more comfortable. I needn't tell you, Dr. Zarkov, that you arrived in the nick of time. Yes, another few seconds, and they'd have swung us out over that pit of molten iron. Dropped us into it, and goodbye.
Yes, I know. We rushed here as swiftly as we could.
Dale brought you word of our predicament, I suppose.
She gave us our first hint. She was across the Atlantean border before the fighting began, but she heard the cannon fire and knew that there was trouble. As soon as she reached Atlantis, she told us. I at once established contact with this place through the television equipment, saw that you were in desperate danger, and came here with a squadron of rocket planes. Well, you know the rest.
Yes, you've driven the armies of King Torak from the city. Now we've got to find the Empress Luana and tell her our empire is saved.
Wait, here comes a soldier with a message.
Your Imperial Majesty.
Yes, soldier, what is it?
We have the honor to report to your Imperial Majesty that the armies of King Torak have been driven from the city.
You've done well. Convey my compliments and gratitude to your officers.
Your Imperial Majesty.
Was there something further?
A small detachment of the enemy, commanded by King Torak himself, has barricaded itself in the left wing of the palace. We desire your Imperial Majesty's consent to drive them out with destructo bombs.
Torak and some of his men have taken refuge in the left wing of the palace, eh? No. Tell your officers to withhold their destructo fire.
But, Flash, you don't mean...
I mean that you and I have a personal score to settle with King Torak. Soldier.
Your Imperial Majesty.
Instruct your officers to send 10 men to the doors of the left wing of the palace. They'll bring with them the strongest battering ram they can find. Grego, you and I will accompany them, and when the doors are battered down, we're going in there and bring King Torak out by the heels, dead or alive. Soldier, have the men ready in half an hour.
Yes, Your Imperial.
I'll take command now, Captain. Men, they brought up the battering ram, haven't they? Your places quickly, men.
This is a mad scheme, Flash. We may get killed.
And so may King Torak. Are you ready, men? Then listen, Grego. You and I'll stand aside as they batter in the doors. If the doors crash inward, we'll leap into the front rank of the soldiers and go in fighting.
But why permit us to wear nothing but swords? We could beat them so much more easily with dissolvo pistols or destructo grenades.
I've got an incurable desire to meet King Torak man to man. His men are armed with nothing but swords. I want this to be a fight. I'm going to start the fireworks now. All ready, men? Soldiers to the battering ram now. Ready? Lift. Now all together. Go! The door's giving. Once more now. This is the time. All together. Hit it hard. No! Go on, Grego. Forward, men, into the palace. Charge for your emperor and for Atlantis. Here comes King Torak's men. They're trying to fight their way out. There's Torak at their head. Keep away from him, soldier. That's my man. All right, defend yourself, Torak. Man to man now. We'll see who's the coward. Ha-ha! Come on! Come on! Why don't you charge me? Why don't you rush in on me? Ha-ha! All right, let's get it over with. Oh, lost your sword, have you? All right, I won't take advantage. Here goes mine also. Now, this is for what your soldiers did to Luana's empire. There. And here's just a little of the punishment you deserve. I guess this will teach him a lesson. Soldiers!
Your Imperial Majesty.
When King Torak regains consciousness, have him removed to one of Luana's copper mines. Put him in chains. Make him work and slave in that mine for the rest of his life. If he makes one move to escape, he's to be instantly killed. The command of your emperor.
Your Imperial Majesty's command shall be obeyed. Here, soldiers, help me with this man.
Well, the rocket planes are waiting, Flash. They're ready for the return trip to Atlantis.
Very well, Grego. I'll be ready in just a moment.
Well, what are you doing?
I'm writing some orders. One for the immediate reconstruction of the royal palace. I'm having that done, Grego, at the expense of Atlantis, as a friendly gesture to the Empress Luana.
I think it's a wise move. Relations between the land of the Titans and Atlantis should be the friendliest from now on.
Yes. The tribute to Atlantis has been canceled. Friendly trade agreements have taken its place. The Atlantean army rescued the Empress Luana and drove Torak's men back to their kingdom. I think the gift of a new palace will be the final touch that'll make the land of Titans our loyal ally, Grego.
Meanwhile, where will Luana hold course? There's no suitable place. King Torak's legions destroyed every building of any consequence in the Empire.
I know that. I've invited Luana to return to Atlantis with us on a friendly visit. It's her first visit there. To remain until her own palace is ready for her occupancy.
An excellent idea. Where is Luana now?
She's resting. Her servants are packing her belongings for the trip to Atlantis.
The soldiers said they found her hiding in the stables where we left her. She was terrified at the bombing by the rocket planes.
Yes. The poor creature thought it was some new and dreadful enemy. Well, these orders are all signed now. If you're ready, we'll hunt up Luana, board the rocket ships, and get back to Atlantis. And personally, I'll be very glad to get back there.
And I. Frankly, I'd never expected to see home again.
Well, I guess our troubles are over now. Come on, Grego, let's get going. Well, we're nearly home now. There's the Royal Palace of Atlantis down there.
Yes, it won't be longer than a few moments now. I wonder how Luana's enjoying the ride.
I imagine she's enjoying it. She's in the one piloted by Lieutenant Redner.
Yes, that's the second rocket plane in the formation. Well, you can circle the field now, Dr. Zarkov, and bring it down.
Yes, we're back in Atlantis again. By the way, none too soon, either. They're beginning to make arrangements for the Feast of Poseidon.
The Feast of Poseidon? Merciful Plato, I'd forgotten it.
Feast of Poseidon? What's so strange about it, Grego? My dear man, you look as if you'd seen a ghost.
Why, the priests of the temple will explain it to you, Flash. The Feast of Poseidon comes once every 100 years. Dr. Zarkov, you'd better bring the plane down now.
Yes. Hang on, I'm going to land.
Well, Grego, now that we're safely settled back in the palace again, what about this Feast of Poseidon? Why did mention of the feast give you such a terrible start?
Flash, I'm afraid it's another of the things about Atlantis you'll find very difficult to understand.
You're beginning to frighten me. What's so terrible about this particular celebration?
I do not dare explain. The official information will be brought to you by the High Priest.
Well,
the High Priest of the Temple of Plato.
Well, I'll soon find out what all the mystery's about, Grego.
May I admit him? Your Imperial Majesty. Your Holiness may enter.
Thank you, my son. Blessings of Poseidon and Plato upon you, our Emperor, and upon you, Commander Grego.
Poseidon go with you also.
I have come before you, O Emperor of Atlantis, to remind you of your sacred duties at the time of the Feast of Poseidon, mighty god of the sea.
The duties of Emperor are still strange to me, Holy One.
I shall explain them to you. On the occasion of this feast, it is required by our religious laws that the Emperor of Atlantis give proof to his subjects that he holds the love of Poseidon in higher regard than friend or loved one or even life itself.
Hold on here. You mean I've got to die as a sacrifice?
No, my son. For it is easy to die. It is more difficult to command the death of a loved one. On the occasion of this feast, it is the law of Atlantis that our Emperor demonstrate his love for Poseidon by sacrificing the one person he loves best in all the world, by killing that person with his own hand.
Merciful heaven, but that's butchery. It is the law of Atlantis, Flash. And it means that you must kill either Dr. Zarkov, myself, or Dave Arden.
Under the ancient law of Atlantis, Flash Gordon must kill the person he loves best. Dr. Zarkov, Grego, or Dale Arden. How can he decide such a tragic choice? You boys and girls won't object to Grove's emulsified nose drops. There's nothing unpleasant about them. They don't run out of your nose and make you messy. They don't run down the back of your throat and make you sickish. What's more, they don't burn or sting the inside of your nose. They quickly check a head cold and yet do it in a nice way. These nose drops are something brand new and a big improvement on old-fashioned oil drops. Mother is interested in getting results when you have a cold in the head, and she'll get results much faster with Grove's emulsified nose drops. In every section of the country, Grove's emulsified nose drops are selling at an amazing rate. That's because they are better in every way. Tell Mother to procure a bottle at the corner drugstore. Come with us every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at this same time for further interplanetary adventures with Flash Gordon. The Amazing Adventures of Flash Gordon. Grove's emulsified nose drops bring to your radios the further interplanetary adventures of Flash Gordon. It is the same daring and resourceful Flash Gordon whose exploits have held you spellbound in the newspapers. Now through your loudspeaker every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at this same time, travel with Flash Gordon, Dale Arden, and Dr. Zarkov to the lost continent of Atlantis on the ocean's floor. Flash, Grego, and the Empress Luana have been rescued by Dr. Zarkov and the rocket plane squadron from the armies of King Torok and have been brought safely back to Atlantis. However, their joy of the rescue is turned quickly to sorrow when the priests of Atlantis inform Flash that the Empire is about to celebrate the feast of the god Poseidon, and that in his position as Emperor, he must sacrifice the one person he loves best. This means the death of either Dr. Zarkov, Grego, or Dale Arden. Which of Flash's friends must die? In a moment, we will have the answers to these questions. Here's what boys and girls are saying about Grove's emulsified nose drops. They're the best I've ever tried. They fix a head cold right up, and they don't sting the inside of my nose. Here's what mothers are saying about these nose drops. Grove's emulsified nose drops have certainly solved a great problem for us. These nose drops are not at all objectionable to children, so we can treat a head cold promptly and effectively. Everyone who tries these nose drops just raves about them. They find that they do the work better and do not have any objectionable features. Any child who has not yet called Grove's emulsified nose drops to the attention of his parents should do so at once. It is to every child's interest. Now back to Flash Gordon. The High Priest has departed, and Flash is left alone with Grego.
I know it's a terrible decision to make, but you must make it. You are Emperor of Atlantis.
I'll tell you what my decision is going to be, Grego. I'll not go through with it. I tell you, I won't go through with it.
I'm sorry, there's no way out.
Oh, yes, there is. Call the Royal Council together tonight. I'm going to abdicate my throne and name you as Emperor in my place.
I cannot do that, Flash. You've got to remain on the throne, and you've got to go through with the sacrifice.
Don't be absurd, Grego. Of course I don't have to do it. Who's to stop me from abdicating?
The law of Atlantis, Flash. The law states that if any emperor attempts to abdicate to avoid making the sacrifice of the person he loves best, that he shall be killed.
All right. Let them kill me then.
Not only that, but all his friends shall die too. So there's no chance of escape for the one who'd have died if the emperor had not been a coward.
A coward? You call it cowardice to refuse to kill my best friend?
To refuse means death for all your friends.
For all of them? For you? For Dr. Zarkov?
Yes, and many more. For Lieutenant Redner, the Empress Luana, and for Dale Arden.
But how can I choose, Grego? Which one shall I call to me and say, I'm sorry, but because you're my best friend, I must kill you?
It's a dreadful test. A test no one but a man worthy of the name of Emperor could undergo. Your decision must be made tomorrow.
It's all so strange, so savage and cruel.
I know. Sometimes what is best is most cruel. Now, good night. I'll see you in the morning, and the High Priests visit you to learn of your decision.
All right. I suppose there's absolutely no way out.
None whatever. I'm sorry, Flash. Good night.
Good night.
My poor friend. Oh, Dr. Zarkov. Dr. Zarkov, wait a moment.
Oh, hello, Grego.
I've just been with the Emperor.
How's Flash feeling?
Oh, very despondent. He's just been visited by the High Priest.
The priest told him of the sacrifice required for the Feast of Poseidon?
Yes, he was told.
Poor lad. Who will Flash select for the sacrifice, do you think?
There's no way of telling. It's a horrible decision to make.
Yes, I know. Grego, let's you and I make the decision for him.
You and I? But how could we do that?
Quite easily, I think. I think the final choice will lie between three persons. Between you, myself, and Dale Arden.
Yes.
Dale, of course, is a girl, and his affection for her is of a different quality. But the depth of his love for you and me, I'm sure, is as deep as his love for her.
I think you're right, Dr. Zarkov. What would you suggest?
That we relieve Flash of the necessity for making a decision. That either you or I go forward and offer ourselves to him as the sacrifice.
Doctor, that's an excellent plan. The right to make the offer is mine, of course.
Hold on there. I'm not so certain of that. I am an older man, Grego. My span of life is nearly done in any event. I claim the right to offer myself to our friend.
Oh, there, you see what a dreadful decision it is. Even you and I cannot make it. I'd never consent to allowing you to offer yourself, and I don't think you'd permit me to do it.
No, I would not, Grego. But the matter can be decided between us. I have a deck of cards in my room. We will cut the cards for it.
Oh. Very well. We'll let the cards decide.
Then come along to my rooms. I have the cards here in my desk. Here they are. I frequently amuse myself at night by playing solitaire.
I've always observed that men with mathematical or scientific minds enjoy matching their wits against themselves in a game of solitaire. We're playing a more deadly game, Doctor. One in which the loser wins and the winner dies.
Yes, it's a deadly game with death holding the stakes. We'll let the ace of spades be the fatal card, shall we?
Very well.
I'll shuffle the cards and you cut them. We'll place the deck face down on the table and start drawing. We will draw alternate cards until one of us draws the ace of spades.
That's agreeable to me. Shuffle the cards.
Here, you cut them. All right, we'll draw. Shall I draw first?
I'd like that privilege.
Very well.
The 10 of diamonds. Your draw.
All right. A 9 of hearts. Draw, Grego.
Here. The 3 of clubs. Poseidon.
I've drawn it, Grego. I've drawn the ace of spades. It shall be my honor to offer up my life for my friend.
Allow me to compliment you on your chivalry and your courage. I wish there were more men in Atlantis like you.
Thank you, Grego. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to be alone. We'll see Flash in the morning and tell him what we've done.
Yes, I'll go now.
Thank you, Grego.
Come in.
Well, Flash, my boy.
Good morning, Dr. Zarkov. Good morning, Grego. How did you sleep? Not at all. As if I could. I don't imagine any of us slept very much. I know I didn't.
Nor I, naturally.
What do you mean, naturally?
Tell him, Grego.
Very well. We knew the horrible decision you were faced with, are still faced with, because you've not decided which of your friends must die, have you? No. I'm not a coward, as you both know. But somehow I haven't the courage to make that decision.
We know how you feel, Flash, and we're deeply sorry. That is why we did it.
That's why you did what? Dr. Zarkov and I decided to relieve you of the decision by making it for you. By making... What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Just this, Flash. We know that you would rather die than select a friend for the sacrifice. Yet we all know there is no escape, no alternative, no hope. Grego and I know that the choice would lie finally between Grego, myself, and Dale.
I suppose you're right. Well, we left Dale out of it. She's a woman. She must live. Dr. Zarkov and I drew cards for the honor of making the sacrifice. And Dr. Zarkov won. Grego, do you mean that you're the one to die? I'm sorry to say, no. The winner receives the honor of making the sacrifice. It is Dr. Zarkov who must die. Dr. Zarkov, is this true?
Yes, it's true.
I don't know what to say. What can I say? Dr. Zarkov, we've been through so much together. First on the planet Mongo, and in Atlantis.
There's no need for you to say anything, Flash. I understand all the things that will remain unsaid, and believe me, I'm deeply grateful. It's been given to few men to enjoy the friendship of a man such as yourself. To die for that friendship is an honor.
Yes?
Miss Dale Arden is here to see your Imperial Majesty.
Shall we tell her? She must know sometime. Let her come in.
Yes, your Imperial Majesty. You may enter.
Oh, Flash, I've heard about the sacrifice, and I'm so terribly sorry for you.
Yes, it's a dreadful thing, Dale.
Of course, there can be but one decision. Atlantis needs every man. You must allow me to be the sacrifice.
Oh, no, Dale, no. We can't allow that.
You've made your decision?
Yes.
Who is it to be?
Dr. Zarkov.
Oh, Dr. Zarkov? No.
I shall consider it an honor, Dale. It comes to us all sometime.
But Dr. Zarkov, not you.
Oh, it's hideous, Dale. Savagely, barbarically wrong. But what can we do? Someone must be chosen, or all of my friends will be killed. Yes, Miss Arden. It's better this way, to sacrifice only one life.
I suppose it is, isn't it? Well, Dr. Zarkov, I want to tell you that you're the finest, truest friend we've ever known.
Thank you, Dale.
What is it?
A messenger from the temple to take your decision to the High Priest.
Tell him to wait a moment.
Your Imperial Majesty.
Bring me some paper, an ink and a quill. Very well. Here you are. Thank you. To the High Priest of the Temple of Plato, greeting. It is our imperial decision that for the sacrifice to the feast of Poseidon, the man to die shall be my dear friend, Dr. Zarkov. Signed, Imperator Rex. Give this to the messenger, Grego, and tell him to deliver it. Very well. The priests will acknowledge this at once with a letter. The messenger's been gone for an hour. Why don't we receive an acknowledgement from the priests? Because after receiving your sealed decision, they'll pray to Poseidon to determine whether the person you've selected is the one dearest to your heart. Oh, I see. Yes, it would be easy to send the name of an enemy, wouldn't it? I never thought of that. It's not your custom to consider deception, Flash.
Just the same, we should have an acknowledgement soon.
Yes, it shouldn't take much longer. That may be it. What's wanted?
The messenger with the letter from the temple.
Bring me the letter.
Your Imperial Majesty?
Thank you. That's all.
Your Majesty?
What does it say, Flash?
Probably a verification of what amounts to Dr. Zarkov's death warrant. We'll see.
What does it say, Flash?
Read it to us.
Yes, we're all anxious to know. All right. It says, Your Imperial Majesty, we have received your decision, and according to the customs of the temple, we have prayed to Poseidon for guidance. In his great wisdom, Poseidon has appeared to us in a vision, and this is his answer and ours. A mistake has been made. Dr. Zarkov must be spared from the sacrifice. The one to die must be the one most dearly beloved by you truly, and the person to be sacrificed is Gale Gordon.
So the priests of Poseidon refused to accept the noble sacrifice of Dr. Zarkov and demanded instead the life of Gale Gordon. Poor, lovely, loyal Dale. Must she die? Grove's emulsified nose drops will surprise you with the way they look and act. These nose drops are white and creamy. They don't look, taste, or smell like medicine, yet they are highly effective. That's because they are medically superior, because they stay up in the nose. Any child can understand that nose drops that stay up in the nose will do more good than nose drops that run right out. Impress this fact upon Mother, and she will undoubtedly let you try these new type nose drops when you have a head cold or stuffed head. All drugstores sell Grove's emulsified nose drops, and they're really more economical than the old-fashioned kind because you get more for your money and because you can use less. Ask Mother to get a bottle today. Come with us every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at this same time for further interplanetary adventures with Flash Gordon.
This is Chesterton Radio, your home for podcasts of works by G.K. Chesterton, plus drama, comedy, mystery, science fiction, big bands, and much more. The soundtrack to your Chesterton day at chestertonradio.com.
The Amazing Adventures of Flash Gordon. Grove's emulsified nose drops bring to your radios the further interplanetary adventures of Flash Gordon. It is the same daring and resourceful Flash Gordon whose exploits have held you spellbound in the newspapers. Now through your loudspeakers every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at this same time, travel with Flash Gordon, Gale Gordon, and Dr. Zarkov to the lost continent of Atlantis on the ocean's floor. Successful in defeating the armies of Morgat in a savage battle at the Hilltop Fortress, Flash Gordon has again been hailed Emperor of Atlantis. Gale and Dr. Zarkov have been saved, but a new and desperate peril menaces Flash, Grego, and Lieutenant Redna. The substrata forces with their devastating destructo cannon have returned to Atlantis, and Raoul Dufarge, arch enemy of Dr. Zarkov and Flash, has deceived them into believing that Grego and Flash are prisoners and that the Hilltop Fortress is filled with enemies. The substrata forces have opened fire with the destructo cannon. Does this mean that Flash and Grego must perish before the guns of their own soldiers? Is Dufarge to fulfill his vow to kill Flash, Gale, and Dr. Zarkov? Well, in a moment, we shall see. For any head cold or nose cold, you want to get Mother to let you try Grove's emulsified nose drops. Then you'll get the relief you want, and you won't have to go through any suffering to get it. For Grove's emulsified nose drops do not bite or sting, neither do they run out of your nose and down your face or throat. These nose drops stay put, and because they do, they exert a much more prolonged and soothing effect than ordinary oil drops. So aside from the matter of pleasantness, it's wise to use Grove's emulsified nose drops. If Mother is interested in better ways of doing things, she'll be interested in Grove's emulsified nose drops. They are on sale at all drugstores. Now back to Flash Gordon. As Grego's startling announcement brings every man in the room to his feet, there sounds again the distant thunder of the Destructo cannon.
We've got to get the soldiers out of here. They'll blast the fortress to bits in another few moments. Lieutenant Redner, down to the barracks quickly. Marshal the troops of horse. General Carlock, your death's head is ours. Form lines. Instruct Captain Luther Wig to have his Black Lancers ready for instant march. As soon as this has been done, notify me. We'll desert the fort before it's blasted sky high. I'll get moving. There go the cannon again. They haven't got the range yet, Grego, but they'll have it in a minute. And they'll reduce this fortress to a sand pile.
It isn't that. There's no such thing as them missing range with the Destructo cannon.
What's that you say? I guess that's right. Rangefinders on the Destructo are equipped with television lenses. They adjust the light beam to any object they desire to destroy and then press the lever.
Yes. They could have smashed the fortress with their first shot. There's something the matter. They're not trying to hit us.
I think I may know the answer. There might be an officer or two who's none too certain Dufarge is telling the truth. They may be trying to find out who is in the fortress. Drive us out by pretending to bombard us.
Yes, I think that's it. If it is, we can stop this nonsense in a moment. I'll communicate with the barracks by means of the television phone. One moment. Commander Grego speaking. Put me in communication with the quarters of Adjutant Drobner of the substrata forces. Yes, at once.
This will put a spoke in Dufarge's wheel?
Yes. Hello, Drobner. Commander Grego. Who's in command at the guns? Sergeant Nikor. Tell him to cease firing at once. Great Poseidon, man, that's where we are. In the fortress. Check your television controls. You'll see. That's right. Now listen. This man, Dufarge, the Earthman. Yes, I know it was all his fault. Place him under arrest. I want him heavily guarded. The Emperor and myself will be at the Royal Palace in 1 hour. Have him there then. And if he resists arrest, you know what to do. That's all. But convey my orders to Sergeant Nikor at once.
Well, that ought to do it. Let's get back to the city. I'm anxious to see Dale and Dr. Zarkov.
Well, Dale. Oh, it's good to see you, Flash. So good to see you again.
Are you all right?
Oh, yes, but was I frightened? When the battle was in progress up at the fort, I could see most of it from the roof of Neota's house. Flash, I was terrified. Stand back and let me look at you. Gee.
It sounds like a lot of other people are glad the trouble's over, too. Listen to them celebrating out there in the street.
Yes, they're having a real holiday. Music and dancing and feasting.
Which reminds me I could do with a little food myself. It'll have to wait a while.
This business of being an emperor is no fun after all, is it?
Not always. I'm going to enjoy myself, though, in a moment.
Enjoy yourself? How do you mean?
They're bringing Dufarge here.
Oh. Well, what are you going to do with him?
I don't quite know.
Here's the problem, isn't it? The man's a murderer at heart. He's proved that over and over again. He'd kill any or all of us without so much as a by or leave, and yet you...
And yet, we're civilized human beings, Dale. We can't execute him. It is a problem. That's probably the soldiers bringing Dufarge now. You want to leave?
No, I'll remain if you don't mind.
Not at all. Come in.
The soldiers with the prisoner, Your Majesty.
Tell the soldiers to bring him in.
At once, sir. Bring the prisoners to the royal presence.
Well, Captain, withdraw to the far wall, but remain in the room. And if this gentleman gets difficult, you have my permission to...
I understand, sir.
Well, Dufarge, we'll meet again.
Monsieur et mademoiselle, I salute you.
Never mind the nonsense, Dufarge. You tried to kill us.
Mais oui. I promise to obtain the throne for myself if I can. I try to keep the promise to myself. Voila. Who can say I am not true to myself, eh?
Dufarge, you're laughing at all this because you think I don't dare kill you.
That you do not dare? Raymond, my friend. It is not that you do not dare.
It is that you are too soft in the art, n'est-ce pas? Me? I have the art like this stone.
And so you could kill us without thinking twice. Defarge, there's a limit to all things. This is one time you've tempted me too far.
I tempt you too far? What do you mean? I do not understand.
There's one thing you will understand, and that is death. Defarge, I'm emperor here. My word is law. You think I'm too soft-hearted to deal with you as you deserve? All right, we'll see.
You do not mean...
Yes, I'm going to have you executed, Captain.
But you cannot do this. It is against all humanity.
Sire? Yeah, take the prisoner back to the dungeons. An order as to his disposition will be sent to the jailer at once.
Your Majesty. Cover! You can't do this. Cover!
So, you've done it. You've ordered him killed.
Not yet, Dale. I don't think I shall. But it won't do him any harm to think about it for a few days. Wonder just when the soldiers will come for him and lead him out to be killed. Oh, hang it all. If there were only some way of getting him back to the outer world.
But there isn't. And as long as he's here, he's a menace.
Yes. So what to do? I'm hanged if I see any solution. Well, I suppose there'll be other things to worry about. Yes, very well.
His Excellency Count Alexis is here for the conference.
Count Alexis?
The Secretary of Foreign Affairs. Tell him to come in.
At once. Your Excellency may enter.
Thank you. Your Excellency.
Your Imperial Majesty, may I add my congratulations to the others you have received upon your return to the throne?
Thank you. Your Excellency, this is Gale Gordon.
Ah, Miss Arden. I have seen you many times from a distance. Yes, and admired you.
Why, thank you.
Not at all, my dear. But at the moment, there are distressing matters of state. I must discuss them with His Majesty.
Oh, well, then I'll...
No, stay here, Dale. Your Excellency, Miss Arden enjoys my full confidence. What you have to say, she may hear.
But, Your Majesty, a woman attending a conference of international importance...
It's my wish, Excellency.
As Your Majesty desires. I have here certain figures...
Yes?
...showing the truth of what I am about to say. Your Majesty, the progress of Atlantis has been a scientific one. Everything is based upon a constant increase in our scientific development.
But that's quite true, I know. So...
Our development is threatened with an immediate curtailment, one which may mean the eventual end of scientific progress in Atlantis.
How's that?
As you know, Atlantis has developed electricity to its highest state of perfection. To do that has meant centuries upon centuries of experiment, of constant, never-ending work, and it has put a tremendous drain upon the natural resources of Atlantis.
Yes, I can easily understand that.
Our copper, for instance. The copper mines of Atlantis are nearly exhausted. In another few years, all available supplies will have been used. When that day comes, it means the end of our progress and the eventual decline and collapse of our civilization. Unless
what?
Unless a new source of copper is obtained.
Is such a source available? Can more copper fields be had?
From two sources. And that is what you must decide, Your Majesty. Menace, Emperor of the Fire Kingdom, controls vast copper mines which extend under nearly every acre of his kingdom. If we could obtain the output of those mines, the development of Atlantis would be assured.
I'm afraid that's impossible. Menace would never sell. And I don't care to engage in another war. Especially in a war of conquest for gain.
Yes, I thought you would feel that way. And I'll be frank to say that the sentiment of the people is behind you. There is one other source of copper.
And that is?
Her Majesty, the Empress Luana, ruler of the land of Titans.
Luana? The land of Titans?
I know about them, Flash. Neilda was telling me. The land of Titans is a savage empire. To the north and west of Atlantis, isn't it?
Precisely.
And the Titans are giants compared to ordinary men. Most of them stand 7 or more feet tall.
Quite right. The men of Titan are enormous brutes, powerful as a dozen ordinary men, tall, muscular, savage. But the Empress Luana is not above average height, and I am told that she is a gorgeously beautiful woman, and her empire produces nearly as much copper as the Fire Kingdom.
What are our relations with the land of the Titans? Is Atlantis on friendly terms with Luana?
Well, fairly so. We've never had a war with them, a couple of border skirmishes, but nothing serious. But Luana has one grievance against Atlantis that rankles in her heart.
What's that?
Since before anyone can remember, her empire has had to pay annual tribute to Atlantis. Not much, only a few $1,000 as money is measured on Earth, but she always pays under protest. And she's a proud woman. She doesn't like to pay tribute to anyone.
Then, suppose this annual tribute should be abolished. You think she'd be willing to sell the copper rights?
If the offer came from Your Majesty in person, I'm confident that she would come to a reasonable agreement. But Your Majesty would have to go to her in person as an ambassador from your own court, unattended, save by 1 or 2 courtiers. And that might be dangerous.
Dangerous? How?
The men of Titan are jealous of Luana. They regard every man who crosses their borders as a possible suitor for her hand. And they have vowed to slay every foreigner who sets foot on Titan's soil. They have sworn Luana shall not marry unless and until she marries a man of her own kingdom.
Then why doesn't she do it?
I said she was a proud woman. She will not be dictated to even by her own subjects. But Atlantis must have that copper. If your Majesty could see your way clear...
Flash, I'll never consent to that. I'll not allow you to risk your life again. So soon after you've just escaped death.
Wait, Dale. I'm Emperor of Atlantis. The entire future of the Empire may be in my hands. Yes, I'll go, Count Alexov. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were in conference.
I was just leaving, Commander Gregor.
I'm glad you came in. His Excellency, the Secretary of Foreign Affairs, has just suggested that I visit the Empress Luana of the land of the Titans.
Merciful Poseidon.
And arrange a treaty whereby we can purchase the copper from their mine.
And you refused, of course.
No, I didn't. I said I'd go. I'm leaving tomorrow, and I want you to go with me.
You want me to go with you? Well, I've never refused you, have I? You'll need someone to be with you when you die.
Upon what strange and desperate adventures are Flash Gordon and Gregor to embark now? Can they do what no man has ever done and lived? Set foot upon the forbidden soil of Titans? Mother knows what a battle it is to get you to take nose drops. When she sees how willingly you stand for Grove's emulsified nose drops, she will feel a service has been done her. Mothers write and tell us every day how grateful they are for Grove's emulsified nose drops. They find them not only more acceptable, but more effective. Grove's nose drops are something new, a decided improvement on the old nose drops. They are made by the makers of Grove's bromoquinine. Mother knows that guarantees their quality. Maybe if you suggest it after this program, Mother will get a bottle in the house tonight to have them ready the next time a head cold shows. Suppose you talk to her. Come with us every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at this same time for further interplanetary adventures with Flash Gordon.
And that's Flash Gordon from 1935. The first episode ran on December the 18th, and then Son of a Gun, the next episode ran the next night. And that was requested by Mike Smith of Delta.
As was this one. More Flash Gordon, Lights Out, Rock 101.
The Amazing Adventures of Flash Gordon. Grove's emulsified nose drops bring to your radios the further interplanetary adventures of Flash Gordon. It is the same daring and resourceful Flash Gordon whose exploits have held you spellbound in the newspaper. Now through your loudspeaker every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at this same time, travel with Flash Gordon, Dale Arden, and Dr. Zarkov to the lost continent of Atlantis on the ocean's floor. Yielding to the plea of Count Alexov, Secretary of Foreign Affairs, that Atlantis must have additional supplies of copper for its electrical machines, Flash Gordon, Emperor of Atlantis, agrees to visit the Empress Luana, ruler of the land of Titans, a savage race whose empire contains many copper mines. Although warned that this visit may mean death at the hands of the murderously jealous Titans, Flash refuses to be shaken from his determination and persuades Grego to accompany him. Will they be successful in obtaining from the Empress Luana the treaty which means progress or collapse for the civilization of Atlantis? Can they pass safely through the many strange and terrible dangers the journey must mean? Well, in a moment, we shall see. Will you boys and girls get a pleasant surprise when you try Grove's emulsified nose drops? They're entirely different from the nose drops you have been taking. These nose drops don't make your nose burn and smart. They don't run out of your nose either and make you all messy. No siree. Grove's emulsified nose drops are nice and mild, and they stay put in your nose. They look and feel like so much fresh cream rather than nose drops. Why, you never think of them as medicine at all. Yet they do a grand job in treating any head cold or nose cold. Suppose you ask Mother to let you try Grove's emulsified nose drops. You can get them at your drugstore. Now back to Gordon. Although warning Flash that the visit to the land of Titans may mean death, Grego, nevertheless, goes bravely about the preparations for their departure.
Well, Grego, everything's in readiness, Flash. The court jewelers have packed a jewel casket with priceless gifts to the Empress Luana. The finest horses in the stables have been hitched to our chariots.
Chariots? We're going to ride in chariots?
Yes, for very good reasons. We could reach Luana's empire in a few hours in a rocket plane, but the civilization of the Titans is far behind that of Atlantis, and they're insanely jealous of it. To visit there in a rocket plane would mean to invite instant destruction.
I see. But by going in chariots, we make a friendly gesture to them. It may stand us in good stead. Yes, that's a good idea.
Flash, this is going to be dangerous. Desperately dangerous.
We've gone all over that before. My mind's made up, Grego. It may provide the means of saving the civilization of Atlantis.
Yes, if we are successful. If we're not, well...
Is it really so dangerous? Isn't a great deal of all this fear inspired by the fact that the men of Titan are so enormous?
No. Mere size wouldn't frighten the Atlanteans. But several times, peasants of Atlantis or a wandering soldier have strayed across the border. When they were found later, they weren't pleasant to look at. If we can get to the Empress, we'll be fairly safe. She's a proud woman, but just.
Couldn't we send word to her that we're coming? Inform her in advance that we want to sign a treaty, peaceably. Remove the necessity for her paying the annual tribute to Atlantis, which annoys us so.
If we could get the message to Luana, we'd be safe, yes. She'd do anything to avoid paying that tribute. But we can't reach her by television. They have no equipment. And the messenger wouldn't get 2 miles inside their borders without being killed.
It does look a little difficult. Have you any ideas?
No, none whatever.
Well, I have one. See what you think of this. They say the men of Titan are so dangerous because they're jealous of Luana.
Yes, that's right.
If we were accompanied by a girl, showing that we were not interested in their empress, would that help?
You're suggesting that Dale accompany us?
It's just a thought.
It might be just the solution we've been searching for. She wouldn't be in any danger. The Titans are proud of their chivalry to women. They might send her back across the border, but that's all. And it might help us.
Dale asked me for permission to accompany us. I wanted to consult with you before I granted it.
Yes, I think it's a good plan.
Fine. Then I'll tell her to get ready. We'll leave in an hour.
Take it much farther, Grego. I'm getting awfully tired of this chariot.
No. The border's not far ahead. I can understand how you feel, Dale. These chariots aren't as comfortable as limousines by a long shot.
Well, I'll say they're not. Say, isn't that a couple of soldiers ahead there in the road?
Yes, the last outpost of the Atlantean army. The border guard. Nothing to worry about from them. We'll stop and have a few words with them. Pull up here, Grego. You too, Dale.
Right.
Oh! You can go no further. It's all right, soldier. I'm Commander Grego. This is your Emperor.
Your Majesty.
Tell me, does the Empress Luana maintain a border guard?
Yes, their outpost is around that bend in the road yonder. There are 6 of them. They're certain to attack you.
Doesn't matter. Stand aside.
Yes, sire. As you wish. And Poseidon ride with you.
Come, Grego. Dale, we're going on.
It isn't far to that bend of the road.
No, just a few hundred yards. Then we'll see what sort of reception we'll get from the soldiers of Luana.
There. We're rounding the bend in the road now. And there are the soldiers. Oh, good heavens, what monsters. They look as tall as trees.
Border guards are reported to be among the tallest and most powerful in the kingdom. They're getting out into the road. Let me handle this. Everybody keep quiet now.
Up, further! No further! Who are you who dare to trespass on the land of the Titans? I'll give you Atlanteans a lesson. Who? Soldiers! Quickly!
A moment, soldier.
Hold your tongue. I'll teach
I'm
you.
the Emperor of Atlantis, and I command you to silence.
The Emperor of Atlantis. Ha! Why, you puny little upstart.
Emperor of Atlantis, I say. This man is Commander Grego of our substrata forces. And this girl is my friend Dale Gordon.
I don't care who you are. Get down from those chariots and I'll...
Listen to me. If you harm any of us, your empire will be destroyed within 24 hours. I've left orders with my soldiers that if we're interfered with in any way, our destructo cannon are to be turned loose on the land of Titan.
The destructo cannon? By Luana, that would mean...
The instant destruction of every living thing in your empire. Now, if you dare to risk that, we'll get down. You can give us that lesson you promised.
Why do you cross the border? You know our soldiers have sworn to kill every man who sets foot on our land?
Yes, because you're jealous of your Empress Luana. If I had come here to ask her to marry me, to take her away from her subjects, would I have come accompanied by a beautiful girl?
Well...
I'll tell you why we're here. You know Luana hates to pay the annual tribute to Atlantis.
Yes, she does.
And that's one reason your subjects fared so badly when they crossed over the border.
I've come to your country to make her an offer of a treaty, so that she'll no longer have to pay tribute to Atlantis. I imagine Luana would be angry if she learned you'd interfered in that.
You're right. She'd be furious. But look here. How do I know you're not lying to me?
There's one way to find out. Take us to Luana at once, and let us present the gifts we brought, and place the plans for the treaty before her.
Very well. This is the first time in years that an Atlantean has come this far across the border and lived. If you're lying, if your errand does not please Luana, you'll die soon enough anyway. Soldiers, mount your horses. Release him to Luana. This is the postern gate. Remain in your chariots until I speak to the palace guard.
Very well.
Ready, please.
Well, what did he say? May we proceed at once to our interview with Luana?
You may not.
But I insist that we...
Insist all you will. Luana has gone to the south of the kingdom to inspect some new mining developments.
Oh. When will she return?
Not for several days.
That's too bad. I suppose there's some place where we can put up, wait for her until she returns.
Oh, a place to stay. There is indeed. The prison. You'll wait there. Oh, soldiers! Hit them! Take them! What do you mean? If they resist, hit them. Remember, they're Atlanteans. Come on, inside there. Hurry.
You're going to be sorry for this, soldier, as soon as we've seen Luana.
Perhaps. I'll take the chance. Now, hold your tongue and get in there. Now you can wait for Luana to return.
Well, this is a reception.
Frankly, it's a better one than I'd hoped for. I thought we were done for when those soldiers stopped us at the border.
My heaven, weren't they monstrous, though? And so savage-looking.
Well, it looks like we settled down to a nice, quiet wait for the extremely hospitable Empress of the Titan.
I hope it's not a long wait. No telling when these guards may change their mind and decide to kill us.
If they do, there'll be trouble. I brought 2 dissolvo pistols. I've been hidden beneath my armor.
Oh, good. That makes me feel a little safer.
Don't display them unless it's necessary to use them to save our lives. If the Titans suspected you were armed, our lives wouldn't be worth a thought.
No, I'll be careful. Just the same, if any of these Goliaths start trouble, I'm ready for them.
Be careful. The guard's returning.
Good. Luana may have returned to the city.
Well, has the Empress returned? Are you going to take us to her?
Luana? No, she has not returned. But her brother, Prince Nerod, has learned you're here.
And he wants to see us? Good.
See you? Not all of you. Just the girl.
Oh.
Come on. You'll accompany me.
Oh, no, I can't do that.
Come with me, I say, or it'll be the worse for all of you.
Dale, you'd better go. Put your hands behind you. I'll give you a dissolvo, and you can hide it in your cloak. It'll protect you if you run into trouble.
All right, sir.
Here, no whispering. Come along.
All right, I'm ready.
Poseidon, go with you.
Come in. Well, come in, my dear. Come in.
Hello, Prince Nerod?
Yes, of course, my dear child. So you are the young girl who came to our empire from Atlantis.
Why, yes. You see, the Emperor, I came with him. He wants to sign a treaty with your sister so that you'll no longer have to pay tribute to Atlantis.
A treaty, eh? And a tribute. And what does he want in return, eh? The rights to our copper mines, doesn't he? Well, we'll see about that. We'll see about that.
Well, don't you think Luana will sign? It means so much to Atlantis.
Sign away the rights to the copper? Give to Atlantis the means of advancing a civilization that already has been the cause of most of our trouble? Luana will not sign unless I tell her to.
But you will use your influence with her. You will, won't you?
I might. On certain conditions.
I don't understand what you mean.
You are a beautiful young girl. Wouldn't you like to be a princess? Wife of Prince Nerod of the land of Titan.
Oh.
Of course you would.
Oh, but I couldn't do that. Oh, no, I couldn't.
Oh, of course you can, because, you see, if you refuse, I might take a notion to order your friends executed, you see.
No, you can't. You can't, I say. Don't come near me. Don't come near me, do you hear?
Oh, but you can't refuse a kiss to the man who's going to be your husband.
No, stop. Stop, I tell you. Don't come one step closer or I'll kill you.
Here, put down that gun. Drop that salvo pistol. Do as I command. I'll have you killed for this.
Get back. Get back. Don't come near me.
Why, you...
killed him. I killed him.
What will be the fate of Flash Gordon, Dale Arden, and Grego when the Titans discover that Dale has killed Prince Neron? Can they hope for any mercy from the savage giants who have sworn to kill every Atlantean who sets foot on their land? You boys and girls are practical, aren't you? You know that you'll undoubtedly have to take nose drops several times this winter. So why shouldn't they be pleasant nose drops as long as you can get them? Grove's emulsified nose drops do not irritate you. They're nice to take. It's almost like Mother putting a little fresh cream up your nose, and you certainly wouldn't object to that, would you? Moreover, and this is what will interest Mother, Grove's emulsified nose drops quickly check head and nose colds. Results are much faster than with the old-type nose drops. But let a trial prove that to you. Ask Mother to get a bottle in the house today. Come with us every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at this same time for further interplanetary adventures with Flash Gordon.
This is Chesterton Radio, the true, good, and beautiful at chestertonradio.com.